Hello, everybody, and welcome. I'm Gunnar Rohrbacher, and today we're diving into one of the most common questions I get asked from actors. What's the difference between an agent and a manager? Well, whether you're just starting out or looking to level up your career, understanding these key industry relationships can make a huge difference in your success. Throughout this video, I'll break down exactly what agents and managers do and answer all of those burning questions you've been wondering about. I'll also address some very important outdated myths about representation that no longer apply in today's digital first entertainment landscape. So grab a notebook and let's jump right in. Okay, so let's start with the basics. Both agents and managers work in partnership with you to advance your acting career. It's not either of their jobs to advance it for you. Most actors think that they both serve fundamentally different purposes. However, their roles have significantly converged in recent years. So when I talk to actors, I find that a lot of you think of agents and managers as if we were back in the old-timey days of Hollywood, like working under the studio system. An agent is more about business, and a manager is more personal, maybe even spending more time with you, like a mentor, giving you career advice, helping you shape your path forward. None of that is remotely the case anymore. So let's debunk the myths and misconceptions about agents and managers. An agent is primarily focused on finding you work and negotiating contracts. They submit you for auditions and handle the business side of your acting career. Think of them as your business representative. Their main goal, in a nutshell, is to get you booked and get you paid. A manager is often thought of someone who takes a more holistic approach to your career with a focus on overall development and input regarding the big picture. However, in the digital era of Hollywood, which we're in, the distinction has been blurred considerably. Modern managers, much like agents, spend most of their time and energy submitting actors for roles through the same digital platforms and breakdown services. The key difference now is mainly legal. Agents can negotiate contracts both in terms of payment and working conditions, like travel expenses, your billing in the credits, a private dressing room or trailer, things like that, etc. Managers cannot legally negotiate your pay or terms of work, although they can provide input if they're working in collaboration with your agent. Both are fundamentally concerned with getting you work in today's competitive market. I just believe it's important for actors to understand that while agents and managers are both vital to becoming a working actor, there is no training program or certification required to become either. Experience, yes, but no formal training. So there is no universal standard when it comes to performing either job. It largely has to do with an individual's personality and their preferred communication style. Agents do have certain requirements. To become a talent agent in California, for example, you must register your business, obtain a business license from the Department of Industrial Relations, and provide a surety bond, along with submitting various documents, including a license application, affidavit of character, and samples of executed contracts. So more simply, an agent needs to set themselves up as a business entity with the state and be bonded since they're handling someone else's money, your money. There is a shared standard of intent regarding the definition of an agent's job description. Important to note, however, again, there's no school or university where you specifically train to become either talent representative. Managers do not have the same requirements because they don't need to be bonded. They should neither be accepting your pay when you book work, distributing your pay to you, nor negotiating on your behalf for anything. The laws may vary by state or country here, so if you happen to know that it's different for you where you live, please let me know in the comments. I'd love to learn. What I really want you to get from this conversation is that whether the laws in your area say so or not, you shouldn't let anyone speak for your career or handle your money unless they are bonded and licensed to do so. You are putting yourself, your reputation, and your finances at risk if you let someone collect or access your pay without insurance of some kind. That's the important takeaway. Lastly, either an agent or a manager can be very personable and offer you great insight into how to move your career forward. Either can get to know you on a very personal level, and perhaps a friendship could even evolve over time. Conversely, agents or managers can sign you as a client and immediately send you an email that says, "Do not contact the office for personal questions. We submit you for everything we think you're right for. Thanks," or something like that. And you rarely see them in person afterwards. And that's okay. Show business is conducted largely online. Our pictures and our reels are online, so there isn't an organic reason to stop by and see our agents or managers anymore like we used to. A lot of agents and managers work from their home and don't have an office, so they often don't want the actor stopping on their roster stopping by because it's their house. So none of what I'm saying contains any judgment whatsoever, by the way. I'm just explaining the way the industry works. It is fair to have certain expectations of agents for the reasons I detailed above. You should have no expectation whatsoever about what a manager will do for you until you meet them and ask them. There is no standard guideline for what a talent manager should do for an actor or how they should do it. In the fast-paced world of Hollywood, it's extremely rare that either an agent or a manager will spend time personally investing in a client and grooming them for their career. Both make money off of actors who book. So typically all agents and managers want some assurance that the actors they sign on to become clients know not only how to act, but how the industry works. It's not their job to teach you, and most of the ones you'd want to sign with wouldn't have the time. Now let's talk a bit more about the legal stuff, because this is where agents and managers really notably differ. Talent agents are heavily regulated. In most states, particularly in major entertainment hubs like California and New York, agents must be licensed by the state. Additionally, if an agent wants to work with union actors, they need to be franchised or signatory with the entertainment unions like SAG-AFTRA, which means they've agreed to follow certain guidelines, including commission caps and contract terms. Managers, by contrast, operate with fewer regulations. In most states, you don't need a specific license to be a talent manager. However, this lack of regulation doesn't mean they can do whatever they want. There are still state and federal laws governing their behavior. The big legal distinction is that in states like California, only licensed agents can procure employment for actors. This means technically, managers aren't supposed to negotiate contracts or even submit you for jobs, though in reality, most managers are regularly involved in the submission process. Both agents and managers have what's called a fiduciary duty to their clients. I said duty. It essentially means they have to act in your best interest, not their own. For agents, this fiduciary obligation is more formalized because of their licensing. They have a legal responsibility to present all job opportunities to you, negotiate the best possible terms, disclose any conflicts of interest they may have in that configuration, keep your confidential information private, and account for all the money that they handle for you. Managers have similar responsibilities, but their fiduciary duties extend more broadly. While traditionally they were expected to focus on career development, today most managers are heavily involved in the same submission process and booking process as agents. Their fiduciary responsibilities now largely mirror those of agents in day-to-day practice. The important thing to understand is that both of these professionals should be working for you, not the other way around. Their success should be tied to your success. So, what should you realistically expect from an agent or manager in today's industry? Let's break it down with a focus on current practices. From an agent, you can typically expect regular submission for auditions through digital platforms and breakdown services, negotiation of contracts and pay rates when you book jobs, handling of paperwork and payment logistics, communication about industry opportunities, limited individual advocacy, as most submissions are now handled digitally. From a manager, you can typically expect similar similar submission activities through the same digital platforms, input on contracts, advice on industry trends and opportunities, help with building your team. Managers can often help you get an agent or perhaps a lawyer, publicist, etc., when the time is right for that. Comparable availability to agents, contrary to outdated beliefs about managers being more accessible than agents. A key reality in today's industry is that neither agents nor managers typically serve the intensive development role that they once did. Both agents and managers now primarily work through electronic submission systems rather than personal relationships with casting directors. While strong agencies and management companies do have those industry relationships, and they still matter, the old system of picking up the phone to pitch clients has largely been replaced by all of these digital submissions. It's important to understand how the casting process actually works today. Contrary to popular belief and what's often portrayed in films and TV, people simply don't speak on the phone that much. Do you speak on the phone that much? Maybe. But anyway, in Hollywood, no one's calling each other and no one is calling someone on your behalf. But that's not bad news. I don't want that to land as a negative. This digital first approach has standardized the submission process. Your headshot, your resume, your reel are uploaded to these systems, and casting directors review submissions digitally and regularly. They select actors to call in for auditions based on these materials. And if your materials are on point, you may get noticed for simply presenting yourself professionally, even if you don't have a lot of credits yet. Personal relationships still matter, but primarily to help your submission get noticed in an overwhelming digital pile rather than bypassing the system entirely with a pitch. Even the most well-connected or agent or manager typically can't just call a casting director and get you an audition. This reality means the quality of your material, headshot, reels, resume, is paramount, as is your clear marketability for specific roles. Your acting in the audition configuration must be excellent. Both your agent and manager are submitting you through these same channels, perhaps with different ideas of your castability and trading on different connections. Now, let's tackle some of those common questions actors have about agents and managers with answers that reflect today's industry realities. Is one better than the other? Great question. In today's industry, there is significant overlap, as we've discussed, in what agents and managers actually do on the day-to-day. The main practical differences, primarily legal. Agents can negotiate contracts while managers technically cannot. Ideally, as your career progresses, you'll have both working with you as part of your team, submitting you through different channels but using largely the same processes. Since an agent can do something for you that a manager cannot, negotiating on your behalf, having an agent is likely to be the most helpful. Do they each take the same percentage of my earnings? Also a great question. Generally, no. Agents typically take 10% of your acting earnings, and this rate is often capped by union regulations for SAG-AFTRA projects. Managers usually take 15, though some take up to 20%. And remember, managers generally take this percentage from all your entertainment earnings, not just acting jobs that your agent books. Should I pay a fee to sign with an agent or a manager? Absolutely not. Never. No. Don't do that. This is a major red flag. Legitimate agents and managers make money when you make money. They take a commission on your earnings, not upfront fees. Anyone asking you for money to represent you is likely running a scam. The only exception, tiny one, might be a registered agency's legitimate one-time materials or website fee, but even those should be approached with caution. How do I find an agent to work with? Well, finding an agent today usually happens through referrals from industry professionals, friends, casting directors you might have developed a relationship with, showcase performances or graduate showcases if you studied at a conservatory, submission of your materials, headshot, resume, reel, meeting them at workshops or other industry events, getting noticed in productions that they attend. The most effective way is still through a personal referral from someone they respect, another client, casting director, or producer who's worked with you. but those are some other options. How do I find a manager to work with? Finding a manager follows a similar path. Referrals from other actors or industry contacts, being discovered in a performance, direct submission of your materials, industry network events. But sometimes managers will reach out to you if they notice you on digital actor platforms. Always use caution if somebody does that in responding, but I know legit managers who look at Backstage and other places to find talent and sign them on, and it's 100% above board and totally legit. So you need solid materials to get signed by either. And at a minimum, you need professional headshots that truly represent you, an acting resume with legit credits, even if they're smaller productions, a high quality demo reel with professional footage, training credentials that show you're serious about the craft, a clear understanding of your type, your wheelhouse, your marketability, however you want to say that, and a professional online presence. The competition is fierce, and both agents and managers are looking for actors who are already positioned to work immediately. Next question. Do I have to be in SAG-AFTRA to get an agent or a manager? Nope, not at all. For managers, most managers definitely not. For agents, it depends. It depends for either. Many smaller or boutique representation, either way, work with non-union actors, especially in markets outside LA and New York. However, the largest agencies typically focused almost exclusively on union talent. That said, a good agent can help you get your SAG-AFTRA card by finding new union work opportunities. You might get that from booking a commercial. Will an agent or a manager pitch me to casting directors? Again, probably not. And even if they did, casting directors are just going to ask for links to the actor's materials. So I only bring this up again because whenever I've seen an exception, it's usually for a younger actor who's really made a splash. They just graduated from Juilliard or RADA and had an amazing graduation performance, something like that. That said, having a representative with strong industry relationships can help ensure your submission gets noticed in that big digital pile. What can I offer an agent or a manager so that they want to work with me? In today's industry, you need to come to the table as complete a package as possible. Demonstrate your talent through quality training and experience, professional materials ready for immediate submission, a clear marketable type, brand, wheelhouse that can be easily submitted, make sense to casting directors immediately, existing credits that show you can book work or create your own work, special skills or unique qualities that make you castable for specific roles, complete professionalism and business acumen, self-sufficiency and initiative in pursuing your own opportunities. Both agents and managers are looking for actors who require minimal development and can start booking immediately. The more submission ready you are, the more attractive you'll be to potential representatives. So there you have it. Those are the real differences between agents and managers in today's acting world. The biggest industry shift to understand is that both now operate primarily through digital submission platforms rather than personal pitches, and neither typically provides the career development services that were once common in previous eras of the industry of show. As your career grows, ideally you'll have both working as part of your team, submitting you through different channels, but using largely the same processes. Just remember that in today's industry, you need to be proactive, professional, and prepared. Your representatives expect you to be ready to work from day one. So I hope this clears up some of the confusion around these important industry relationships and provides a realistic picture of how representation works today. If you found this helpful, please hit that like button and subscribe for more acting career advice. Drop your questions in the comments and I will try to address them in future videos. Until next time, keep training, keep auditioning, and keep believing in your craft. Thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next video. Gunner out. Please hit like and subscribe to help build a global community of artists, and check out the links below. I love you.